In this video, I want to talk a bit about learning. When it comes to learning, it's not about hoarding this massive collection of books or showing off how many facts you can recite, because let's be honest, Google and ChatGPT and just all these new devices that are coming out, like the Rabbit and whatever the other one is, with these things, you can instantly know whatever you want, whenever you want. And so learning isn't really about reciting all these facts. The real reason you should learn stuff is to deeply understand it just for yourself, and then to weave that knowledge into your everyday life. It's not about collecting facts, it's about using what you know. There's this thing that I came across a while ago now, and I'm not sure who came up with it, but it's essentially the idea that you can read 100 books one time, or you can read one book 100 times, and the book you read 100 times will have a bigger impact on your life. So sure, having a stack of 100 books and you can say you've read all them is great, but if you're just reading all them back to back and not deeply understanding what each one means, they're not really going to have a big impact on your life. Even though there's a lot of rubbish in most books and a lot of fluff, you kinda need all that to get a deeper understanding of it. Because if we're being honest, anyone can get, this book, pretty common, well-known book. Anyone can pick this up and read a really powerful line in it that can change your life, but not everyone can apply what they've learned. So here is my little formula. You feed your mind with knowledge, put that knowledge into action through everyday choices and your habits, and that's when you start to gain wisdom. It isn't about dishing out advice, it's about taking your own advice. And I don't want to make it seem as if I've got it all figured out, because I still read books and don't really take any real world action. But the few times I have applied things that I've learned from books, that's just when I've got the most use out of them. And that's not to say that every single book you read, you should be applying stuff into your real life. Some books you read just to learn cool things. This book, for example, I didn't apply any knowledge from this into my real life. The main things I learned was the LD50 and how if you consume 20 pints of Ben & Jerry's, you could die just from the sugar. Another thing I learned from this book is that Rudolph is a girl. I'm not going to apply that into my real life, but that's something that I can tell someone about, and in a way, that is applying it into my real life. So don't feel rubbish about not applying everything you learn into your life. So just before I end the video, I wanted to show you the learning pyramid. This is essentially knowledge retention rates. So if you're listening to something, that's great, but the likelihood of you remembering that thing years down the line is unlikely. But if you listen to something and applied that thing, or you teached it, or you taught it to someone, there's a bigger chance that you're going to remember that thing 5-10 years down the line. So things like listening and reading, they're great, but it would definitely be useful for me to start applying more of those primary teaching methods. And so again, the point of learning isn't to build up this massive collection of books and to show off how much facts you know. It's about learning something and applying that knowledge in real life. Something that can help with that is the whole less is more philosophy, and I think I'm going to talk about that in the next video. But until then,